What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 3. We have ourselves a best of 2 right now, and it's going to be top 5 on the Radiant versus the House is Down on the Dire. I'm going to be, unfortunately, your only caster for this best of 2 set, but that's fine. We're going to have lots of fun regardless. My name is, of course, Mike Loris, if you did not know, because it should be in the title. You should know. And we'll see how this game is going to pan out. I have seen both of these teams play before. Both of these teams extremely solid. The House is Down. I love watching them play because they just play off the rails. They do crazy stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but when it works, it's hella entertaining to watch. So I'm all for that. In top 5, only seen them play once before, and I can't remember too much that's bad about them. It looks like they're going to be running in with, I think Cat is a stand-in, and Arsevi may or may not be a real stand-in. He might just be a fake stand-in, if that makes any sense. But either way, top 5, mostly in full form, and let's get ourselves into the draft. It looks pretty normal, I would say. Tidehunter is getting the boot out very, very early in comparison, and that is going to pave the road for stronger heroes like Doom. I say stronger heroes. It might not necessarily be a stronger hero objectively, though Doom certainly is wielding one of the most devastating skills in the entire game in the Doom. Yes, that is Doom in the hero and Doom in the ultimate, and the ultimate is pretty much going to shut down the single core from the House is Down if they do decide to run only one core. Usually to counter that, I personally think the best way to do that is to run many, many heroes that will all want to be doomed up, such as Death Prophet and Shadow Shaman and Enigma and everyone else. Everyone who has a big skill that Doom would want to shut down, run those heroes, because if you do, Doom is going to have a much more difficult time in determining who he is going to actually want to commit to, and if he commits to the wrong person, then he's going to be really sad. But the House is Down. They have a couple of really strong support picks. They also have the Brewmaster, one of the premier supports that is not the premier heroes that's not a support. Along those lines, also Viper is still in the pool, and the Death Prophet. Most likely, we will see one of those 3 heroes if the House is Down want to pick up a core hero. And if they want to go for a support, then they still have Shadow Shaman, they still have the Skywrath Mage, or they could just go for the Invoker. The House is Down has a pretty sick Invoker player. I just remember Sunstrike's raining down and pretty high accuracy rating. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it's probably going to be pretty high. So we got Invoker, and what else do the House is Down want to pick up going along with this hero? When you see an Invoker, you're most likely going to assume he's going to be going to the mid lane, and that means he's going to want to have some setup in the other lanes. Skywrath Mage is okay setup. It's not the best. Like, Concussive Shot is only average as far as setting up for Sunstrikes. You really want something that locks people down really, really hard, and that's not going to be the Skywrath Mage. However, Skywrath Mage adds his own element to this game, in that he's just pure damage, and sometimes pure damage is all you need. This is also kind of going along the same lines that I was describing before, with having a lot of heroes that want to be doomed, or that Doom would want to doom. Invoker is pretty much up there among the best heroes of targets to doom. If you don't silence him and shut him down, then he's going to be throwing lots of fire your way, unless he's going to be going for Wex, which would be interesting, but I don't think it's going to happen. But lots of fire coming your way with the Invoker, and Skywrath Mage also. As far as supports go, you probably will not find a support that is able to dump as much damage as quickly as the Skywrath Mage, but again, that all hinges upon the fact that they need setup. So, top 5 for now, they're going to get rid of the Wraith King, a very nice setup skill for both the Invoker and Skywrath Mage. Tinker also going to get the boot from top 5, whereas the House is Down, just going to target a couple of top 5's cores. Death Prophet is now out of the pool, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them kick out someone like a Viper, though the House is Down do have the first pick after this banning phase, and Viper looks pretty good for them. We're going to get rid of Nature's Prophet. It's a decent enough pushing hero to synergize with Shadow Shaman. So it looks like the House is Down, certainly respecting the pushing potential, or the pushing possibility for top 5. And the House is Down. Let's see what setup they're going to pick up. As far as support heroes are concerned, they do still have the Earthshaker Skywrath Mage, a pretty solid combination in that you have just a really, really long initiation range. And having a long initiation range from the get-go at level 1 means that, first of all, you're probably going to win any sort of level 1 skirmishes, because you will start that fight and you will be able to call the shots in that fight. But also later on, if your team isn't a Blink Dagger team and you just need to start a fight anyway, having a concussive shot or a long-range fissure to block or something like that is going to be certainly useful. The only downside is that working with an Invoker Sunstrike, fissure isn't the best because fissure doesn't stun for very long, though they can remedy that by going something like Earthshaker Mirana if they want to commit those two picks. But for right now, the house is down, and top 5 both have a fairly generic template off of which they could work off of. Shadow Shaman's going to give top 5 a little bit more pushing, but Doom and Invoker pretty much fit into whatever they want to. And the house is down. Well, they're going to pick up a Bristleback. It's a lot earlier than you normally see for that hero. As far as off lanes, I'd say that's probably, it's definitely in the top 5 off lane heroes, but that's behind Tidehunter, Centaur, and Clockwork, I would say. I would say his Bristleback's about number 4. That's where I would place him. Though he does lend himself to a very Deathball-ish type of team comp. You want to have the Bristleback always be on the front lines, and if not the front lines, then, well, just bashing his way all the way to the back lines. Get to the soft, nougaty center of top 5 that is the Shadow Shaman and whatever other support hero top 5 are going to decide to use. This is, by the way, the house is down. They also have a really, really good Meepo player in top 5. They have a Doom who's okay versus Meepo. Shadow Shaman's okay as well, but this might be one of those games, guys. They have Invoker Sunstrike, and Net is going to set up perfectly for Sunstrike, which unfortunately I can't pull up for you. But the setup for Earthbind into Sunstrike is actually pretty legit. Like, it's surprising how legit that combination is. And the house is down with the Bristleback is going to add at the very least a lot of disruption to their fights. Top 5, they're going to pick up that Mirana that I was talking about earlier. Between the Mirana and the Shadow Shaman, they will be able to set up some fairly easy arrows, but on a pretty hard target in the Bristleback. The roaming from top 5 towards the Invoker's lane should be pretty powerful, and if the Mirana misses arrows, it's probably going to be because it was not going to happen in the first place. If someone is shackled with the Mirana right behind, then they're going to take an arrow, and then it's just a question of whether or not top 5 have enough damage to bring down their single target. I think top 5 would still benefit from picking up someone like a Viper. They could get a little bit more lane control and just be a little bit more aggressive towards the houses down, who currently running a little bit low out of their reserve time. So we'll see what they want to go for their 4th pick. I think picking up just another support hero is probably the best. You don't want to be crippled in your supports, and you will always have another core to select from, unless they really want to go for that Meepo. And I'm hoping they go for the Meepo, because I just, first of all, love Meepo, and I love the houses down Meepo. It's absolutely terrifying. The support is going to be the Lich, which is not exactly the support I was anticipating from the houses down, possibly gearing up for dual lanes. Lich Bristleback is pretty nice in that you will get a lot of magical harassment plus physical harassment, and when you have the two of them, whoever's in your lane is going to really feel the pain. Though, of course, Skywrath Mage with one other hero, it could be possibly strong as well, depending on what top 5 want to run. But if it is going to be an aggressive tri-lane for top 5, then that tri-lane from the house, that dual lane from the house is down, is going to suffer. Also, the Lich Skywrath Mage, 2 supports that really are lacking in the setup. So as far as setting up for a Mystic Flare or setting up for a Sunstrike or anything along those lines, it's so far not really going to happen. They have a couple of slows, but that's about it. And you don't really want to freehand your Sunstrikes, not if you could help it in the draft. I don't really know if I like this Lich too much, unless the house is down, have something really nice planned with that hero. I mean, worst comes to worst, they could always put the Lich in a solo lane, and that's not really what you want to have happen, but it is functional enough. The only problem with that is that you're relying very heavily on Chain Frost, and that's kind of a RNG-based skill. Like, there is some skill involved, obviously, when to throw it and when to not throw it, but, you know, it will sometimes bounce not in your favor. Sometimes it'll just go into a random neutral camp because that's what the Chain Frost feels like doing that day, and then you're going to be really sad. And top 5, hello, Crystal Maiden. Okay, do you know how I said I like the houses down because they play off the rails and they make weird picks? Starting to like top 5 for doing that too. I seem to remember them picking up an Axe, and now Crystal Maiden is going to be the pick. Their heroes aren't that mana starved. Like, Doom is usually perfectly functional with the amount of mana he has. Shadow Shaman and Mirana will be able to spam out a little bit more with that aura, but Crystal Maiden in general is just a very slow, very, I don't want to say tanky because the people will get the wrong connotation, but she's like a tank in that she goes somewhere very slowly and then doesn't move from that place. She can't move around very quickly, so she's very immobile and she does a lot of damage. If she does go for the damage build, which considering top 5's current lineup, she should be going for maxed out Crystal Nova and Frostbite, and then just laying the hurt onto the soft heroes of the Lich, Scarith Mage, and Invoker. The Mirana Shadow Shaman Crystal Maiden combination is extremely deadly as well. If they set up an arrow at all, then they will probably get a kill on anyone, considering how much magical burst damage they're able to put out. So lots of single target focus from top 5, but still their lineup has yet to go in a really firm direction. And well, guarantee you're never going to see this again, or not for a very long time at the very least. Slardar is going to get kicked out from top 5. It would have been okay from the houses down, I suppose. Like, just having another tanky hero on the front lines is always nice enough, but this is kind of indicating to me that either they don't really care what they ban because they made the ban with only 1 more second left, so it's like, you know, maybe they just didn't really care. Just pick someone to ban out. Or they are preparing to pick up an invisibility hero. As far as invisibility heroes that solo lanes, the only one that really comes to mind is Bounty Hunter. And if they go for a Bounty Hunter, then things can get really dangerous for them later on, though Warlock is going to be the pick for the houses down. I love it. Hell yeah, this is the type of lineup I want to see from the houses down. I don't know how the Warlock fits in or whatever, but still, Chaotic Offering on the really soft heroes in the Crystal Maiden, Mirana, Shadow Shaman, and the fact that houses down have now spread their Doom targets out amongst 4 heroes makes this pickup just a whole lot of fun. And really, who could argue with just a boatload of fun coming out from the Warlock? The last pick from the top 5, it looks like it is going to be the Templar Assassin. So it is one of those heroes that does have invisibility and is able to solo up a lane. Looks like it'll most likely be a matchup versus Invoker, though I wouldn't really put it past the houses down to put a Warlock in this matchup. It definitely won't be the worst. Like, considering that matchup, the Templar Assassin does rely very heavily on her refraction to keep herself alive, and if you could deny that through usage of Shadow Word, which is a pretty nice dot, then you'll be able to shut her down pretty well. Though, with this Templar Assassin pickup, it's starting to make me question why pick up the Crystal Maiden. I mean, yes, she does do a lot of damage, but aside from that, they're not really mana-starved in this game. And here we go. Looks like I got all of the overlay settings correct, and we're just going to wait for the customary pause in this game. Let's get the important stuff. No Bastion announcer. What a shame. Alright, so this Warlock is going to make the AoE team fight from the houses down pretty devastating. They are going to be very heavily in the magic damage for a certain point, but then at a later point, Chaotic Offering will be able to smack people and do just a boatload of damage. Bristleback's physical damage will also be pretty relevant in this game, considering the fairly low starting armor of the entirety of top 5. I mean, you got 1, 0, 0, 1 actually. 4 on the Templar Assassin, 1 on Mirana, so the physical from Bristleback should be fine, assuming Bristleback gets a decent time in lane. And with the lanes that THD have for themselves, I'm not really sure how it's going to shape up. I mean, Invoker's definitely going to get, or should get, a lane to himself, but otherwise, let's go over the top 5 lanes, because that seems to be a little bit easier. On the top 5 side, we got NR77 going to be playing the Doom. Has the boot, so he's most likely going to go up top by himself. Fly is going to be playing the carry core Mirana role down on bottom lane, picking up arrow first at level 1. He's going to be supported by Fly as my son, so I guess his dad is going to be supporting him. That's kind of poetic, I suppose. Whatever is going to be supporting, as well as the Crystal Maiden, and then they're going to have the last hero, the Templar Assassin, played by Cat. On the house's downside, Jubilee is going to be handling the Bristleback Boogaroo, following up as the Scarith Mage, and Vestius is going to be playing the Lich. This looks like it's going to be a core Warlock, and it is, played by Yuka. That's really the only way I think you should play Warlock. Lepos is going to be the odd one out. He's not invited to this trip to the jungle. He's going to be all off on his own because he's a loner and Invoker doesn't have friends, stuff like that. He's going to go what looks like towards the top lane, and, well, they're going to leave the middle lane for the Warlock. Fly might be in a little bit of trouble. He did pick up arrow level 1, so if the THD side get a beat on this Mirana, they could very easily bring her down, though they are a little bit disable light, as I mentioned before. They actually have, like, no real stuns, like, pretty much no stuns. They have Invoker stuns and the Deafening Blast later on, and the Cold Snap, Ice Wall, Slow, whatnot. They'll have Chaotic Offering, but that's about it. Fortunately for them, top 5 don't exactly have anyone who requires stuns. They don't have a Queen of Pain or have a Tinker or a Nature's Prophet or any hero that will get crippled really heavily by by any sort of disable. So it's going to work out okay for the houses down in this particular game. Let's see how these lanes actually shape up for them. There is going to be dual lanes. Invoker going to get a little bit of help for the Skywrath Mage, at least for the early start. And then, of course, the mid lane is going to be Templar Assassin versus Warlock. Can't say I've seen this lane too many times. The Fatal Bonds, the way it behaves in that it is HP removal, does mean it goes straight through the defensive charges of the Templar Assassin. She will take damage even though she has charges up. So it's a okay way of kind of dealing with that. But at the same time, you're probably not going to kill anyone with Fatal Bonds, at least not for another 5-10 minutes. Later on, it will be able to kill people, but for now, it's just a little harassment tool that may or may not be worth it for the Warlock to actually cast. Top lane, Liposa, dueling off against NR Sevi. Bugru has arrived for a couple of Arcane Bolts. Unfortunately, he doesn't have level 2, so no Concussive Shot, and the Invoker doesn't have level 2 either, so there's going to be no Sunstrikes. If they had that, it's probably a kill on the Doom. The 0 base armor means that he's going to get hit very hard by these base right clicks from the top lane of the houses down. But yeah, all these lanes are definitely capable of getting first blood, so my only hope is that I don't miss it, and if I miss it, I'll be very sad. Doom is just going to take a little bit of an excursion into the houses down jungle. Not going to find the best creep in the Centaur. We'll give him a Stomp, which will be a semi-defensive tool, but against Invoker and a Warlock, really, how realistic is it that you're going to be getting a Stomp off? It looks like for top 5, their Crystal Maiden is going to be mostly just jungling. It's pretty much the best way to handle a Crystal Maiden as long as your lane doesn't need poking, and with Fly situation against Jubilu, though a little bit of poking from the supports will be nice, as Bugru up on the top lane is being chased down by NR Sevi. This shouldn't be a kill though, unless NR Sevi really wants to go for it. In fact, Liposa is going to get a good amount of right clicks onto this Doom. He has tangos enough to survive though, so it looks like everyone on the top lane, though thoroughly roughed up, they all are going to survive. But going back to the Crystal Maiden, she can jungle okay. It's definitely no Sand King jungle though. Granted, she is able to jungle from minute 0, and that Frostbite lasts an obnoxious 10 seconds on creeps. If you're a Cheddar Enchantress player, you know exactly how that feels. But she can't clear camps. She doesn't benefit a huge amount by stacking. Really, not many heroes on the top 5 squad benefit from a large amount of stacks, so they're not going to have that going for them. But at the very least, Crystal Maiden will get a couple of levels. Now she's smoked up. They're possibly going to look for a kill on the Warlock, it looks like. Whatever, we'll wrap around with both one level of Frost Blast as well as one level of Frostbite, though Cat is kind of blowing it with this aggressive play. I believe they saw the invisibility rune being taken, the house is down, so they shouldn't be caught unawares, although Yuka is not really playing like it. There's the Frost Blast to slow down, they need the Frostbite, Refraction Hit's going to hit Yuka pretty hard, there's the freeze in place, and Warlock is going to be your first blood. Whatever with 41 base damage. What a DPS hero. Crystal Maiden gets the first blood. I don't know how she managed to outlast the Templar Assassin. It was just coming down to that. In the meantime, top lane, NR Sevi, going to be silenced up. He's going to land a Stomp onto Bugru, but there's still one more Arcane Bolt for him to fire. That's not going to be enough to kill him off, but with a Sunstrike, it will just barely miss. Can they kill off this Doom? I don't think they'll be able to. Bugru is sure as hell, though, going to try. It's not going to be worth it, Bugru. Give it up right now. That was a little bit of unfortunate play coming out from the House of Down's Invoker, but at the same time, Doom was actively making an effort to dodge a Sunstrike. The way he was moving, he anticipated a Sunstrike, and he narrowly dodged it. So, you dodged a Sunstrike and you lived. You can't really ask for more than that. Taking a look at the bottom lane, not surprising, Mirana is having a much better time than this Bristleback, but really with 2 supports in this area, she's not outlasting or out-harassing the Bristleback as much as I really would have thought. Now granted, whatever is in the jungle has been in the jungle for the most part of this game, and honestly will continue to be in the jungle until she's actually needed elsewhere. She's going to, smoke up, go for a gank on someone, and then go back to the jungle. Rinse, repeat until you're filthy rich. Which, by playing the Crystal Maiden, is going to mean you're never going to get there. He is going to wrap around Vestius as well as Jubilu, though. This could be a nice pick-off potential for a top 5 if they land an arrow with some setup and force the houses down to fall back. However, the creep wave really isn't working out for them, so it looks like purple, whatever's Crystal Maiden, is going to have to say whatever to that gank attempt. He's going to back off for now and actually turn his eyes towards middle lane, where Yuka's looking awfully tasty. If they mistime this, though, Warlock could very easily hit level 6, and once he hits that, the gank is not going to fly. If you're a Crystal Maiden and you have a Warlock Golem dropped on you when you're only level 3, then you are probably just going to die. I mean, the Chaotic Offering does a good amount of damage when it lands, and then of course if you get hit once, then you're going to get absolutely demolished. Whatever's just going to take a bath in the tower, because that's what Crystal Maiden with 1 base armor loves to do. Going to rush back to his jungle, I think, and he should be just fine there. The house is down in the meantime. Their Lich has been very, very busy in the jungle, but Yuka in the meantime, he's going to get wrapped around by Flies My Son. He's going to get shocked, and that's going to be it. Cat with a double damage rune, going to kill off the Warlock for the 2nd time. And in the meantime, top lane, NR Sevi, this time, is finally going to go down. It seems like both of these teams have their gank routes pretty much on the clock. Like, the exact same things happened twice. Doom getting aggressed upon, Warlock getting aggressed upon, and, well, this time the Doom either didn't manage to dodge a Sunstrike or just went down any other way. Regardless, it is going to be the House is Down getting on the board in this particular game, which is going to be a very nice start for them. What are you doing, Flies My Son? He's going to go really deep for Jubilee. Stars are going to fall. That will kill him off. Sunstrike will fall on the Shadow Shaman, though, making an even trade. Whatever, though, chase down Vestio. So the Mirana arrow following through. This is going to be a kill on the Lich as well. 4 for 2, and whatever should successfully escape. Yes, Crystal Maiden is going to book it, although Skywrath Mage might run an intercepts course. This might be a kill for Skywrath. If he was running straight in, then he could have gotten that kill. But Bruguru is not doing that, so he's not going to get that kill. So that's fine. Cat is going to race Yuka for that rune. Yuka, unfortunately, not willing to drop his Chaotic Offering just yet, but now holding that skill, unless top 5 get a perfect chain stun on this Warlock, they can't kill him. They actually have to be very fearful for their lives. If the gank goes south for just a little bit, then they will get a very angry Golem dropped on them, and that's not what you want to have happen. Moonlight Shadow being deployed, this is going to stop the gank attempt from the Houses Down. They have both the Skywrath Mage and the Lich in the area, so they're going to want to look towards Cat. She has Phase Boots and a regen rune, though, so this could be a little bit tricky, assuming they don't get the silence off. Now, if they do get the silence off, then they're going to be golden, but it's just a big question of whether or not they could actually pull that one off. In the meantime, Flies My Son, after his successful rotation towards the mid lane, he's going to help out the Invoker up top. Doom just needs one more creep to get in Doom, and there it is. Though it was denied, they can now get a kill on the Posa. There's the Doom with the Shackle. No, Doom, what are you doing, bro? Oh, come on, man. Leposa's going to get hexed. Now they're going to turn this one around on Flies My Son. They're going to get the kill on the Shadow Shaman, and NR Sevi will try desperately to chop down Leposa, who is for some reason not running. There's the Warlock Golem being dropped, but it's going to be too late to save the Invoker, though I think NR Sevi is probably going to go down. One more right click from Bruguru is going to secure him the double kill. Oh, God. Doom. Okay, so Doom Ultimate. It's really good, guys. I promise it's a really good skill when you cast it on heroes. Difficult to watch, it truly is. The Invoker lived for so long and actually survived long enough to, well, not get the kill on the Doom. That would have been just insult to injury. But he survived long enough so that he didn't, he got the kill on the Shadow Shaman before he went down. So we got a little bit of experience and assist gold from that, which is all well and good. Now he's going to snap up Cat in the mid lane, though. There's a wraparound coming in from whatever, who's pretty quick with those Tranquil Boots. Can land the Frostbite onto Leposa, can invoke up Sunstrike really quickly. He's putting a lot of damage on the Cat. Diffraction Shield charges are all now gone. Sunstrike will narrowly miss Cat. Leposa just standing and fighting. What a man. He's going to get the kill on Cat, diving way too aggressively. Now whatever, has to book it. He will be successful in doing so. But top 5, they had such a great start, but suddenly they're going for these ganks, and it's just not working out for them. Top lane, and Arsevi getting hit pretty hard, though he does get the deny on that tower. They're going to go for fly in the bottom lane. 4 stacks of goo, and this Mirana ain't moving anywhere. Bristleback is going to get, well, his first kill, actually. I thought he had one from before. But he's going to get nothing as Shadow Shaman does teleport down to the bottom lane. Has a Hex, has a Shock, and they're going to go for Vestius. Shock him down, and then right-click him down. Crystal Maiden with 47 base damage. Gonna get the kill on the Lich. What a DPS hero. Jubilee on the run. Doesn't have enough mana for any more cool sprays, so Warpath is not going to help him get out here, especially if he runs into a Templar Assassin. That's not where we want to go. Whatever. Going to cut him off with a Frostbite from the high ground, and who's going to get the kill? Please let it be the Templar Assassin. It's actually going to be the Shadow Shaman. So 7-6 as the house is down. Their bottom lane going a little bit too aggressively. The tower, though, fortunately for them, will not get put below deny range, so they're going to be still upset about how that went down, but it definitely could have been worse. If they put that tower into deny range, it would have been disastrous. Now Yuka going to go ahead and get doomed by NR Sevi. He landed the Doom. Round of applause for this Doom, but unfortunately for him, he missed the stomp, so, you know, Warlock will just back off and then bottle himself and Shadow Word himself and be in fighting condition in no time. Has another 30 seconds before he has his ultimate up, and once he has that, he's going to be looking for blood, and that blood might be on the bottom lane. Serpent Ward's already deployed. Level 2 Bristleback for the Bristleback means that he's going to get lots of reduced damage from all this poking harassment, yet the tower is still taking quite a good deal of damage, and there's really nothing Bristleback could do about this. And he's even in a little bit of trouble because wrapping around, it's going to be whatever. Whatever is going to spot out Jubilu, and teleportation from the Skywrath Mage is going to get the shot and flies my son. Now they're going to go straight for whatever. Jubilu has a lot of mana, has a lot of health. He's going to get shackled, but instantly to the Moonlight Shadow. The Wistic Flare is going to miss, but it looks like everyone else is going to escape successfully. Everyone from the house is down, not really willing to chase into these wards. This is a big don't go into area. That's not where you want to go. Now, but Laposa in the middle lane, wow, that refraction damage is the truth. Invoker, gonna get 3-shot by Cat, just, you know, Templar Assassin casually getting kills on the Invoker, not a big deal. As whatever. He finds himself a haste rune. This could be potentially very dangerous from the houses down. Really, their single target potential isn't the highest. However, at the same time, their team fight is devastating. If they land a Fatal Bonds into Chaotic Offering, they could kill off the entirety of top 5, you know, in a heartbeat, and it's going to be really scary for them, especially if Jubilu gets this gold. I've actually never seen this done before. Smoking, actually, I have seen it done before. It's just been a really long time. Smoking to clear off this many Ancients means that you are going to be taking literally 0 damage from them, and well, sometimes you just need your health pool, like all the time. Bristleback is going to clean this one up, though the smoke does get revealed or timeout or something, and then he gets messed up by these Ancients. Like, if he wasn't doing that, he would have been pretty messed up. And Mirana has an arrow. Oh, please let it hit. Arrow gonna fly. Jubilu's gonna get sniped. 360 no-scoped. Where are you at, Jubilu? In the meantime, Vestius in a little trouble as well. They're gonna drop stars on the Lich. He's gonna throw the Chain Frost onto Mirana. Sunstrike will land, but it won't kill her off. 50 HP. Mirana's going to book it. In the meantime, top lane, or mid lane rather, the Warlock did get aggressed upon. Don't really know what happened there, but they are going to pull out the ultimate and kill it. Huge wins for top 5 as Mirana gets the snipe of a sentry with that arrow. This is going to be pretty clear to the houses down that there's an observer ward somewhere in the area, so you know, somewhere within this general vicinity. They know that they are spotted out, but it's going to time out anyway, so even if they get rid of that ward, it's not really going to matter because it's only going to save them, what, 10 seconds on this ward? It's not going to be doing much. 11-6 and the house is down. With the Warlock pick, unfortunately, not going to be contributing too much this game. He has died 3 times. He is gunning straight for his Aghanims, which is pretty much the build for Warlock, but it only works if you actually get it up eventually. And the way top 5 are playing, they're putting all the right pressure in all the right places, though Laposa still is getting a good amount of farm with his Hand of Midas. There is no Hand of Midas being picked up on the top 5 side, just a whole boatload of fighting now items, with Yasha, Phase Boots, and another double damage rune being taken by Templar Assassin. She's going to be hitting very, very hard moving forward. But they're looking on the top lane. Laposa going to send the Forge Spirits as they're going to send everyone and everyone's mom to the bottom lane. Jubilu is now on the run. How does it feel to be a fugitive? Top 5 Fly is going to land the easiest. No, he actually doesn't have an arrow. And whatever's a little bit too slow to get in range of that Frostbite. The Bristleback getting out of dodge pretty easily. Thought the arrow was still saved, but I guess Mirana just tried to catch the Bristleback by surprise or something and just ended up whiffing. So that definitely happened. But they have Serpent Wards, and it looks like top 5, they're ready to go for another push. Unfortunately, they don't have Cat. He's still farming on the mid lane. With the Yasha, he could join the fight fairly quickly, since between Phase Boots and Yasha, he's going to be moving at a blisteringly fast 430 something. I don't know, maybe something bigger. They're going to go for Jubilu, who's going to be tasked with defending this bottom lane. The arrow will tag him right to his back, however. All this damage is going to his back, in fact. They're going to shackle him, move to his front. That's how you kill a Bristleback. Just get to the creamy center, right in the middle. And with Serpent Wards deployed, they're going to take this tower down pretty easily, though it won't be for free. They're going to make a 1-for-1 tower trade at the very least. They might slide to the mid lane after this, but Serpent Wards really is their largest pushing tool, and looks like the house is down. They're actually not going to stop this. They have the Warlock here, though he doesn't have his ultimate, so they should back off, and they are going to back off. Look for Cat, but he has a double damage rune, and he's moving pretty damn quickly. Teleportation in from the Invoker. They need to drop a rock on him pretty soon, or just never. Let him go is fine, because they don't know what's up in this high ground. They see NR Sevi, or they should. There's the Moonlight Shadow, though, and now THD, they spot that out. If they stick around, it's only because they have a Death Wish. And it looks like they will play super defensively on the left side of their tower. Correct move from the houses down. They are 12-6 behind, and obviously that is going to lend top 5's gold and experience advantage to be pretty high, 3,000 and 4,000 in experience and gold respectively. Though still, the house is down. Their team fight has yet to come together. I have not seen a chaotic offering with the Chain Frost, with Bristleback in there. It just hasn't happened yet. Also, haven't really seen a Mystic Flare land on anyone, but that's not really Skywrath Mage's fault. That's the fault of the draft. They have no real setup aside from the really short, how long is this stun anyway? You're going to golem 6 seconds. What? Okay, whatever. You get a little bit of stun, and it's going to be enough to land a little bit of Mystic Flare, but certainly not as much as you would really like. Top 5, they have the item advantage right now, though. They are being spotted out up on the high ground. The Posa is around. He has to worry about a Doom popping his Scorch Earth and running in, though Doom has gone for the mech on his team, which fortunately for THD is that they don't have to deal with the blinking Doom just yet. Though he's holding on to 1,000 gold, so I think they will actually just go for that blink dagger anyway. It's going to be a blink for Doom. It has to be, right? Otherwise, it'll just be Aura Doom with Vlad's AC, stuff like that. But they have the Serpent Wards up, and they're going to go for the top lane, top 5. I have yet to see top 5 go top as 5, so kind of deceptively naming their team there. But in the meantime, the house is down, going to make a straight push of their own. They have the team fight advantage, so they're not really scared of going in like this. The Blink Dagger on the Doom needs to be picked up pretty swiftly if they want to get initiation onto Yuka, but they're going to slow down Bugru to a crawl, and then almost one-shot him with 2 shots actually killing him. Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Arrow gonna fly, will actually not hit Yuka, but he's on the run, has his ultimate, but he doesn't actually want to use it right now. There's the ultimate with a Chain Frost. Will it kill off anyone? Centipede dropping pretty low, but he does pop the mech, and he should be just fine. The Warlock ultimate actually getting diffused or something. Yes, I think Fly actually has that. He does, and now everyone else from the house is down, going to drop. Jublu's still very tanky in the front lines. The Posa is going to survive as well, but Jublu taking way too much damage from Cat and Fly. He just simply cannot withstand the sun, and actually Yuka got tagged with a stray arrow that I thought missed. 2 shots from Cat will kill him off. It's a double kill for Cat as they're going to chase down the Posa. This is pretty risky for Cat, and he's going to get cold snapped under a tower. I mean, you kind of were asking for that one, I guess. In the meantime, Doom does slip away alive, as does whatever's Crystal Maiden. The house is down. They were going in for Roshan for just a little while, though. It wasn't for that long. But the house is down. They were forced into taking a team fight that really didn't benefit them, and Mirana didn't actually get a good look at her items for a good portion of this game. She is sitting at 414, so she's able to get a good amount of gold. I mean, she's up there in the net worth chart, only a little bit behind the highest on the enemy side, which is the Invoker. The Diffusal Blade is going to very quickly pay for itself in kills, in damage, and really even just in straight up killing off, chaotic offerings. If you just purge it off, and then he's dead. And really, the Warlock ultimate, though the AoE stun and damage is certainly very nice, you really want that Golem to survive for as long as possible, because he does do a lot of damage with his Flaming Fist and Immolation, I believe, are the correct terms for that. It might be a little bit wrong. I might be thinking of Dota 1 terms. Maybe they didn't even switch it. I don't know. But Bugru's going to be spotted by Fly. Arrow is available, and he's going to be spotted out. He's going to get concussive. So they know that the Mirana is invisible somewhere, so it looks like everyone's just going to back off from that. But, crucially, top 5, they have Serpent Wards up again, and I really like how they've been playing it. This is how I believe everyone should be playing the Shadow Shaman, is that every single time your Mass Serpent Wards is up, go for an objective. Whether that's Roshan or a tower, I don't really care, as long as you're going for something. Otherwise, these Serpent Wards, though they can be of great use in the fight, they're also great at starting fights. And now Vesius is going to get arrowed from very long range, and then Cat gonna demolish the Lich, taking about half his HP with 1 hit. That's just Templar Assassin doing Templar Assassin things, and instantly thereafter, they're going to take a tower. They're going to go for a high ground push, really. They don't have to worry about the Warlock ultimate for another 20 seconds. They're going to go chase down Bugru. Psionic Trap's going to be exploding everywhere, and Bugru's got to be pissing himself right now because he's going to try to teleport away, but the arrow will land. Rest in peace, Bugru. Kaboom! Invoker does find the Shadow Shaman in the meantime, so it's not going to be without trade. Though top 5 are more than happy to trade off their Shadow Shaman for 2 kills of the houses down. Look how aggressively they're playing right now. Their base is still over here, guys, but they're all the way on the dire side of the map. Warding the enemy base instantly will be dewarded, but it's the thought that matters. It's the thought that counts. Like, it's worth 75 gold to send a message, I would say. But it's not really 75 gold since the enemy gets 50. So it's more like 125 gold, I guess. it's suddenly not too worth it to send a message. But they have a Desolator up on Templar Assassin. They have the Serpent Wards back up again. It looks like Fly is my son is going to let his kid roam free. He's going to let him leave the nest because they're going to go and kill off Roshan. And the house is down. They don't have many great tools getting in here. Oh no, Sevi, what are you doing up there? Why? He's going to try to get the Doom off, and he does onto Liposa. That will secure them enough time to kill off that Roshan. Now they have to just run, though. They don't have their Doom because Doom had a Death Wish. Although, double damage rune. Templar Assassin, that's like DD rune number 4 or something like that. Something really crazy and balanced. Fly is going to be wrapped around. I don't know why Fly is still here. He's going to throw an arrow, which will whiff onto everyone. He has to leap out of here. Moonlight Shadow, something. Get out of there, Fly. Will leap away into the Moonlight Shadow, but they have Necro level 3. He's going to get hit with the Mystic Flare. He's going to go down. Cat, let's see if you could 1v5. I don't think you can, even though you have an Aegis. He's silenced, and he's on the run. Run, Cat, run. Slowed down with the goo, though. This is how it ends, Templar Assassin. This is how it ends. This will only be his Aegis. In the meantime, the Crystal Maiden is trying to follow. He has a Force Staff, maybe setting up for the biggest freezing field we ever did see, but whatever can instantly be silenced, and Vestius going to take it to himself to zone him out. There's the freezing field on the Vestius. Is this going to be Crystal Maiden winning there? Now the Warlock ultimate is going to be dropped onto NR7, who does return to the fight. He's not going to last long. The upheaval is going to be instantly canceled by Fly's My Son on the back end. With Fly's damage, they will kill off the Warlock. The Warlock Golem is going to survive for a little while longer, but there's the Persian. There it goes. Fly's My Son going to blink forward and look for another Hex or something onto Jubilee. Looks like it's going to be a little body blocking. The house is down. They chase way too far. They get Cat once, but it's just not enough. Oh, no, they get him twice. Okay, they get Cat twice, which is pretty good for the house is down. It's okay, but they still got completely wiped, so suddenly not too good. Cat is survived for a lot longer. I mean, the chase started about here, and he actually got pretty damn far before he actually went down. It's just the movement speed from the phase boots plus Yasha moving at 447 when she has those phase boots in phase mode, I guess. And then, of course, the refraction charges being used defensively. All in all, the house is down. Can't be too happy with where they are right now. That should have been their fight once they dropped the ultimate. When you have a Warlock and he drops his ultimate with a upheaval, no matter how short it really is, you expect to be going places. And the only place he went was 6 feet under, which is not the place you want to go. They also take the top lane now, top 5, holding a convincing lead. 12,000 gold, 10,000 experience. It's okay. It's about where they would like to be in this game. Oh man, this Templar Assassin's dishing some serious damage. Even Fly's dishing some damage himself. With this Mirana build, the Diffusal Blade, all the damage does come from the agility that it offers. So I wouldn't mind seeing a Manta Style from him. You don't get the mana burn on your illusions, but still the illusions will be doing that flat extra 25 damage. I guess 25 then reduced damage. But it is probably going to be the best, the most cost-effective DPS item that Fly could buy. Of course, going for an MKB or a Daedalus or a Butterfly or anything, those will all be pretty good as well. Fly's My Son has a blink, and he's going to jump forward, go for Liposa. We'll get the Hex off, but not before Liposa pops his entire army. Here comes Cat. Let's see how many hits it takes to kill off Liposa. 1, 2, looks like it's going to be 3. Oh, it's actually going to be 4. Now Cat's stuck in the Ice Wall. We'll get hit with the Mystic Flare, instantly go down. Looks like they do get the Invoker in the end, but now Fly's My Son. He's trapped. He's going to Force Staff the wrong way. That was actually an enemy Force Staff. He's going to drop the Serpent Wards, but the upheaval is actually not going to do anything. NR Sevi is going to try to provide Fly's My Son some backup, and with the mech, it looks like he might buy him enough time to escape. Run, Fly's My Son, run. Hexing up the Necro unit. You got to do what you got to do to survive, I suppose, and, well, it's ultimately going to be a 1-for-1 trade to Invoker for the Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin being 2 levels above that Invoker is going to mean that the trade is going to benefit the house down just a little bit, but now Jubilee going to get tagged with an arrow. It's only the Mirana, but I think it should be enough. The Bristleback providing some serious value. Now the Shadow Word heal. Bristleback is not going to die just from that. Fly, you got to bring some bigger guns to the fight next time, and I'm sure he will. I mean, he's sitting at 3,300 gold, so he could seriously get some real damage up really quickly, pretty much no matter whatever he wants. If he wants to get a Yasha, fine. If he wants to get a Sanjin Yasha, that's good too. But everyone from top 5, they're getting some really frightening items up right now. Even their freaking Crystal Maiden. She's 407. This is probably the first time I've seen a Crystal Maiden 24 minutes in without any deaths. That's like usually her job. It's just to die and be the one to die for the team. But she hasn't died yet. That's going to give her Force Staff and Ghost Scepter, so she's going to be very resilient in these fights. Sevi is holding on to Plate Mail, which I could only assume is going to be Shiva's, though getting an Assault Cuirass is not going to be terrible either. Fly's My Son is even well on his way to his Aghanims, so that's going to be level 2 Serpent Ward's Aghanims. The House is Down's base is going to fall pretty quickly thereafter, but whatever is in a little bit of trouble. Has a Force Staff, and he has backup right behind. He could cast a Freezing Field. He will Force Staff his way out as Jubilee does chase forward. They're going to drop Sentry Ward after Sentry Ward, with the Necro units providing that extra true sight as well. They're going to be after round upon by this Doom, but it's going to be Jubilee who's fearlessly chasing everyone. NR7 is going to jump right in. Where's Doom? He's actually silenced. Can't get it out just yet. He's going to Blade Mail, return a lot of that damage back, but I don't think he's going to get the Doom off. No, he actually doesn't even have enough mana for it. They're going to drop the wards and try to go for Jubilee, but now the Warlock Ultimate's going to drop and Plasma Sun as well as whatever. They don't actually have any crowd control to keep him there, but the damage should be enough. They're going to chase down Plasma Sun and bring him down. THD get a 2-for-0 so far. Now whatever's going to drop the Freezing Field. Do a lot of damage to Yuka, and here comes Cat. One-shotting that Warlock. Easy peasy. Whatever, going to get silenced, and then Mystic Flared. The Warlock Golems, though, still chasing down this Crystal Maiden, but Bugru going to be hexed off in the back end. Cat's still doing the damage. They have to kill off these golems, but whatever, going to try to Ghost Scepter. This means the Immolation going to burn him down even more, but the Force after the high ground looks like whatever is going to survive. And the House is down. Their Templar Assassin has not been touched throughout this entirety of this fight. They're just going to go for the high ground push, knowing that the enemy does not have Chaotic Offering, knowing that the Skywrath Mage is down. Chain Frost I don't believe was used. It's still available for the House is down, but I ask you, does it matter? I don't think it is. I really don't think so, because their tier 3 is taking quite a beating. Short Tornado, but it's going to catch everyone and do pretty much no damage, so, you know, not sure if that was actually worth casting. And Arsevi going to get the brunt of everything, but now's the Doom onto Liposa. Chain Frost is going to find their only heroes here. Let's see if they get rid of this Chain Frost. Looks like it will be dispelled by Arsevi. He's going to get hit pretty hard from that, but he will survive. Now Shackle onto Jubilee. His front is facing them. He's going to get worked down by Cat. Double kill for Templar Assassin. Arsevi will get his way out of there in the meantime. And now they're going to set another trap for Yuka. Jump forward is Fly My Son. He's going to Hex, and then the beatdown with that Desolator minus armor. They're going to take one after another after another. Arrow's going to fly, miss onto Bugru, but one shot from Cat's all you need. There it is. It's actually 2 shots. Triple kill for this TA. GG has been called. This play from top 5 has been pretty good. Whatever with 0 deaths. Doom with 4 deaths, and Xiao Shaman with 4. But basically, Cat doing all the damage that they could ever possibly want. And really, there's nothing that the House is Down could really do about this. Facing that much damage, they needed some serious team fights to happen, and unfortunately for them, those team fights just did not come about. So that's going to be it, guys. Top 5 going to take this victory over the House is Down. This is a best of 2 series, though, so we're going to be having one more game coming up right after this. Stay tuned, guys. The next game is going to come shortly.